Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me for our live tarot session today, October 27th, 2024. It's a beautiful day and a wonderful evening. Let's give a shout out to everyone here in our chat. Good to see you, Geo. Much love, D Love. Good to see you, Gandhi. Good evening, Foundation. Holler Haint, much love. Rowie, good to see you. Mother Rhea, all the love in the world. Isaac, great to see you. Much love. NA, good to see you. Roving Fungus, great to see you. Atma, much love. Rowie, all right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a long day. I've been streaming for quite a while, but we're back at it again for some beautiful tarot. We're going to have an amazing time. This is a bit of an intense moment, right? We are now in the sun of Scorpio. Scorpio is that death bringer, right? The scorpion. Intense energy of change. And we are coming up to that season, the time when we have so many rites all associated with the end of the year. We have Samhain, Halloween, All Saints Day. Goes on and on and on and on. And this energy is beautiful, beautiful energy. It's so important for really connecting to ourselves, becoming much more aware of everything around us, being aware of the mystery of the magic, being aware of our own shortcomings, being aware of where we're going, really diving to the depths of understanding. And right now we are in that beautiful moon in Virgo energy, combined with this sun in Scorpio, brilliant. With the moon, we have this ability to really define our emotions, to organize our thoughts, to dive to the depths of ourselves and shine that light as that hermit, right? As that Virgo, we have that ability to refine ourselves, to go through that process, to ascend to the stars by our own means, by ourselves, right? Powerful, powerful energy. And with this Scorpio in our sun, we can truly, really see things sharply and clearly. We can really take advantage of this vision to be able to understand and accept where we're at in life. Now is a time when we can truly analyze, not criticize, analyze. How do we get to where we're going? What are we going to do? What is necessary, right? And you can plan for that future. Take advantage of this energy. It's beautiful. It's profound. All right. And I wanted to talk to you guys for a moment about the title. It's kind of interesting. I didn't plan for it. When I woke up, I wasn't even really thinking too much about where the sun was at in terms of astrology. I just went and opened my phone and flipped on to some of these art blogs, and I saw this beautiful painting of a skull in the Ouroboros. And it just struck me because I have been searching and looking and going for all this dragon tongue stuff for days and days in preparation for this show that I had just done. So when I saw this painting, it just hit me. I'm like, wow, that is perfect. A sign from the muses. I have to do death. I have to confront that image for the tarot. So I meditated for a moment upon this idea of death. And immediately I thought of life, that Ouroboros, recognizing the duality of that image, seeing both ends, the head and the tail, right? And recognizing there is not one without the other. Understanding that death serves a purpose and is needed and is as much as a blessing as any other aspect of life, right? And we have to embrace the transformation, and we have to adapt and change in the face of these forces, right? That Saturnian energy, right? It's that slow creeping cutting edge of time, ever moving forward, ever pushing us forward, telling us to adapt or will be remade. And while it is this cutting, intense force that brings suffering, that transformation is a mercy, right? It's a mercy. It's a transformation. The end is a beginning. And there's always beauty in that. Always beauty in that. All right. We are now going to go to our Ganapati oracle. Ganesha, Ganapati, the divine child, the Lord of beginnings, guardian of the threshold and master of the Ganas. Inspire us this evening and ensure our words are heard by those who need to hear them. Lord Ganapati, what is the message? Wow. Shooting out. Love it. Cultivation. Cultivation. And look, we see Ganesha Ganapati with the sitar, reminiscent of that, almost like, what is her name? It's going to bug me now. Not Lakshmi, Saraswati energy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. But that cultivation, right? Doing the self-refinement, going through that process, striving for arati, right? Refining oneself, building a practice, building upon it, doing what is necessary to learn and to gain a skill. And music is the perfect example of this. To truly play music, you have to practice. You have to play with others if you wish to harmonize, right? You have to hear yourself as part of that song. And eventually it will become that second nature. But you need that action, that disciplined action, that responsibility. You must cultivate the self. And also part of that cultivation is in the earth, right? Tending to the earth. It's related to one's culture and to the cult, quite literally, right? Tending to the roots, doing the praxis, doing the work to produce the fruit. It's that Saturnian magic again, yes. All right, beautiful. We are now going to go to our sortes. And today we're going to start with an interesting one. This was a request. The Magician by Lev Grossman. This is a very well-loved copy of this book, as you can see. So let's see. What is the message? Muses. Well, first, sorry. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the sortes is a form of bibliomancy, that is divination through literature. And it comes to us from the Greco-Roman tradition. And we invoke the goddesses of inspiration, the divine muses, and we ask them to send us a message through the text. And today we're using Lev Grossman. So muses, what is the message from the magician? Inspire me this evening. All right. They did their best to be good sports about it. On the first day of class, they sat patiently in the library as the new physical kids went through the ritual and broke into the cottage. Wow. They debated long and earnestly about what to serve the newcomers when they came in, finally settling on a goodish champagne and not wanting to be selfish, even though that was exactly how they felt. An obscenely expensive array of oysters and caviar with toast points and creme fraiche. Wow. Interesting. They did their best to be good sports about it. On the first day of classes, they sat patiently in the library as the new physical kids went through the ritual and broke into the cottage. They debated long and earnestly about what to serve the newcomers when they came in, finally settling on a goodish champagne, not wanting to be selfish, even though that was exactly how they felt. An obscenely expensive array of oysters, caviar with toast points, and creme fraiche. wild, magical, interesting imagery, I'm immediately thinking about this idea of we're recognizing these students who have gone through initiation and are standing upon a threshold, right? They are engaging on a different level of the tower. They're working on a different aspect of the path. And they are looking down at others who are now being initiated, newcomers who are going through the rites, who are going through the ritual, and they await them, wondering how to engage them, what to serve them. And the food is interesting. Gandhi points out the oysters. We were discussing a passage earlier this very evening about oysters as a metaphor. Quite interesting. So much magic in all of this. But, it's this idea of once you've come so far along the path, it is then your duty to help others along, right? You can't take someone through initiation, but you can guide them once they've gone through that door, right? All right, let's continue. We are going to go to another Lev Grossman, Magician's Land. Muses, what is the message from Lev Grossman? Inspire us this evening. What do you think magic is for? I don't know. Don't answer a question with a question. I used to think about this a lot, Quentin said. I mean, it's not obvious like it is in the books. It's trickier. In books, there's always somebody standing by ready to say, hey, the world's in danger, evil's on the rise, but if you're really quick and take the ring and put it in the volcano over there, everything will be fine. Oh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? What do you think magic is for? I don't know. Don't answer a question with a question. I used to think about it a lot, Quentin said. I mean, it's not obvious like it is in books. It's trickier. In books, there's always somebody standing by ready to say, hey, the world's in danger, evil's on the rise, but if you're really quick and take this ring and put it in that volcano over there, everything will be fine. Nothing will be fine, right? Nothing can be fine. The universe is in that constant state of change. And things are so much more complicated, so much more nuanced, so much more twisted. And there is no one to tell you what to do. There's no one there to tell you what to do. You have to take that authority into your own life. You have to enact your will. You have to ascend the throne, right? Let's continue. Goethe, Faust. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Faust? Inspire us this evening. Male monkey. The world, behold, is thus forever rolled with ceaseless up and down. And lo, its hollow crown resounds like glass, most apt to break, alas. And here it gleams, here brighter seems, true that I live. But you see, you give heed, my good son, or your days are done. The sphere of clay will splinter on a day. Oh, what? The young monkeys have meanwhile been playing with a large globe, which they roll forward. And the male monkey recites, the world, behold, is thus forever rolled, with ceaseless up and down, played with and tossed with as a game by monkeys. And lo, its hollow crown, and lo, the hollow crown, the circle, resounds like glass, emits a cry, right? Iwa. And here it gleams, here brighter seems, true that I live, but you see, you give heed, my good son, or your days are done. The sphere of clay will splinter on a day. Heed, my son, or your days are done. Adapt or die. Quite literally. The sphere of clay will splinter on a day. A day is going to come when everything turns back to dust. Are you prepared? Are you prepared? Oh, wow. Beautiful. From Faust to Faustus, Dr. Faustus, by Christopher Marlowe. Muses, what is the message from Marlowe? Inspire us this evening. Aye, that is not against our kingdom, but this is. Think thou on hell, Faustus, for thou art damned. Aye, that is not against our kingdom, but this is. Think thou on hell, Faustus, for thou art damned. Are we all not damned? What is the earth? Where is the underworld? Right? Oof. Interesting. 3 Tragedies by Lorca. Muses. What is the message from Lorca? Inspire us this evening. You I never could see when you were fancy free, but now that you're a wife, I'll find you, yes, and take off your dress, you pilgrim and a wife, when night is dark all round, when midnight starts to sound. Oh, wow. You I never could see when you were fancy free, but now that you're a wife, I'll find you, yes, and take off your dress, you pilgrim and a wife, when night is dark all round, when midnight starts to sound. Yeah, we've had this one before. And it's an intense one. I keep thinking back to the Dragon Tongue episode I just finished today. And a big theme of the Dragon Tongue episode is these figures with the dragon bodies are these powerful, passionate beings that just move with passion, without will. You see Zeus especially doing this, causing violence, taking, destroying, and this creating so much disaster over and over and over again. Right? Over and over and over again. And we were thinking about these images. We have on one hand the dragon, the great power who holds all the treasure, who sits on the top, right? But the dragon is the one who gets slain and has the treasure stolen and the tongue ripped out. And the hero takes up the mantle until they themselves become a dragon. And the cycle repeats, and the cycle repeats. But there is another figure, the opposite of the dragon, the worker, the donkey, the one that is beaten in life and bears upon his back the statue of the eidolon. The one who is beaten in death is the skin of the drum, and provides that heartbeat, the reverberation of the mother. Oof. But the lowest will be highest and the highest will be low. Every donkey is a dragon and every dragon is a donkey. You see this in the magician card. Every magician is also an ass. Right? Wow. Let us continue. We are now going to go to Lewis Carroll, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Lewis Carroll? Alice ran a little way into the wood and stopped under a large tree. It can never get at me here, she thought. It's far too large to squeeze itself in among the trees. But I wish it wouldn't flap its wings so. It makes quite a hurricane in the wood. Here's somebody's shawl being blown away. Oh, wow. Again, I'm thinking upon that episode because at one point in the episode early on, we were talking about a dragon figure, a specific dragon giant figure, Typhon. And Typhon is the hurricane. Typhon is that hurricane that comes to destroy and is defeated by the lightning of Zeus. And we were also talking about this image of the tree. Ryan was talking about at one point a primordial myth, a primordial image that anthropologists had been identifying, in which there is a tree with a serpent in it. And the god goes away. The creator leaves, and we are left to be protected by the tree and the serpent. And here we see Alice hiding in the tree to escape what? That hurricane, that serpent. Beautiful. All right, let's continue. We are now going to go to Byron. Selected poetry and letters. Muses, what is the message from Byron? Inspire us. There was a sound of revelry by night. In Belgium's capital had gathered then her beauty and her chivalry and bright. The lamp shone o'er fair women and brave men. And thousand hearts beat happily, and when music arose with its voluptuous swell, soft eyes looked, love to eyes which spake again, and all went merry as a marriage bell. But hush, hark, a deep sound strikes like a rising knell. Like a rising knell. That earthquake, that rising of the earth, of the mountain. There was a sound of revelry by night. The sound of revelry by night. And here we have the primordial image of the Muse tradition. Bacchus in adoration of Venus. Looking for that Venus, looking to that star and her stars, her children, dancing in the revelry of night. Right? Nyx and the Aphrodite Urania. And Belgium's capital had gathered then her beauty and her chivalry, and bright lamps shone o'er fair women and brave men. And a city was assembled, and all of them came out hanging their lamps. That which is above is the same as that which is below. The city of Venus is the stars. The stars are the lamps of her children. 1,000 hearts beat happily, and when music arose with its voluptuous swell, soft eyes looked love to eyes which spake again, and all went merry as a marriage bell. Because they were all enthused in that Aphroditic madness, in that revelry under the stars, in that adoration. But hush, hark, a deep sound strikes like a rising knell. A deep sound reverberates in the earth. First, we get that maddening love of Aphrodite, and then that causes the earth to swell and open up, right? And out comes that Hades that must reach out to grab that muse, that Aphrodite. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. We are going to go to the bell jar, Sylvia Plath. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Sylvia Plath? Inspire us. Great white bearskins lay about underfoot, And the only furniture was a lot of low beds covered with Indian rugs. Instead of pictures hung up on the walls, he had antlers and buffalo horns and a stuffed rabbit head. Hail Artemis, the great white bear skins. We know that Artemis is in charge of those bear rights at the Baronia, right? Lay about underfoot, and the only furniture was a lot of low beds covered with Indian rugs. Instead of pictures hung upon the walls, he had antlers and buffalo horns and stuffed rabbit head. The hunter. Wow. Let's continue. We're going to go now to Magia by Alan Chapman. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Alan Chapman? And does it make sense to you that you have been fooled into pursuing all of the avenues you have been pursuing to wake up precisely because they are a false appearance of awakening? Oh gosh. Life is absurd. You have to be that fool and laugh. Does it make sense to you? No. Doesn't make sense to anyone. That you have been fooled into pursuing all of the avenues that you have been pursuing to wake up precisely because they are a false appearance of awakening? No. You have to go through the cycle, right? You have to learn the lessons. You have to see the things. You cannot see the image for the trees. You know, you have to go through the process of experience. Perfect example, and something that is actually rather quite embarrassing for myself. When I was young and I was studying Indian religion and philosophy, I had the opportunity to do an exchange abroad, to travel to India and study philosophy at the University of Pune. So I went there to study. And I had thought I knew a lot. I had read so much in the books and I knew so much, right? But I didn't know squat. And what people do on the ground is nothing like what happens in reality. So there was a big festival in Pune. The biggest festival there is the Ganesha Chaturthi, Ganapati Chaturthi, the festival of our friend Ganapati. You know, and I really wanted to participate in this festival. And one of the things you would do is you would take a murti. You would go to a stall, you would purchase a special type of murti, and you would welcome them into your home, treat them like an honored guest for the week. And at the end of the week, there's a big ritual where people bring their murtis down to the river, wash them in the river, and they wash away. He returns to the earth. He was a guest for that time, and then he returns. Beautiful. I wanted to participate. I thought, beautiful, let's do this. I talked to my friends. I made sure everything was okay. I went to a stall right by my flat. And it's just funny to think about because I purchased my murti, my Ganapati, and I'm in the middle of a market. And I didn't want to go back to my flat yet. And I was like, what are we going to do with the statue? I knew that this is God, right? This is God. This is not just a statue. This is God. I knew that. But I did not understand it. I did not understand it. I panicked in that moment because I'm in public. I thought I'm going to hurt this thing. My friends are going to leave. I took that Ganapati, I wrapped it in a towel, and I put him in my bag. And the crowd turned on me. A bunch of people just got super upset. I just stuffed God into a backpack. And I just went, whoa. And my friend Sartak talked people down. We took Ganapati out. I said, look, I'm just trying to ensure that it doesn't get broken. And I unwrapped him. And then I carried him back into my flat, and I took 20 minutes and I went and did that. And then I went and met up with my friends. But my anxiety level was through the roof and I was panicking. And then I'm looking around, and had I been paying a little more attention, I would have seen what people were doing. Anyone who had a murti from one of these stalls, they even had little bandanas covering the eye and the mouth to ensure that Ganapati wasn't going to be affected from the soot in the dirt. Some people had little shawls that they would cover them with, you know? But it was fine, and everyone was fine once they understood. And, you know, people laughed, and we all laughed, and it was beautiful. I did the right. Ganapati was in my home. It was beautiful. It was a great learning experience. But it goes to show you have to pay attention to your surroundings. And just because you think you know, you don't know. I knew that Ganapati was God, that statue was God, but I didn't understand what that meant. Did not understand what that truly meant, you know? Because in that moment, I didn't consider Ganapati a god. I thought he was a statue. And my first instinct was to protect said statue by putting him in a soft, squishy backpack. Yeah. You know, you don't know until you know. You have to go through these experiences. You have to see things from broader perspectives. You have to listen to the people around you. You have to understand and learn and adapt. And you have to fail. You have to fail. Every great artist has failed millions of times. Every great artist has created art that they weren't satisfied with. Every musician, every writer. You have to go through these processes of development. This is part of the cultivation. Part of cultivation is engaging in culture. It's being in community. You have to learn how to talk. And to learn how to talk, you're going to have to babble. And you're going to have to be that donkey and look like an ass. It's just how it is. All right. We are now going to go to our tarot proper. Okay, but before I do, please give me a like and a subscribe. It really does make a big difference. It boosts everything in the algorithm, and it really does help. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, please reach out. You can find me, snappydts@gmail.com, or you can reach out at the Myth and Lore Discord, Snappy or Lady Snappy. All right, today we're going to use the Tabula Mundi Tarot. This is a gift from my dear friend. I love it. So we're going to use it. We're going to invoke that energy of Saturn Chronos, and we're going to ask them to dissect our life, to cut it up and expose it upon the plate, and to show us their interconnections. And we want to know how we can rise above the conflict, how we can best move and flow, how we can manifest our true will, and what is the greater message for our community. All right. So let's see. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Beautiful energy, the Ace of Swords. Beautiful energy. The Ace of Swords is all about new beginnings in terms of thinking, new ways of thinking and approaching the world, right? And seeing the end from the beginning, creating a plan of action in order to build that tower, to imagine yourself going in a new direction, new pursuits. This is what that crown is represented of. Look, also, how important is this imagery for what we've been talking about today? Anyone who saw the talk on the dragon tongue will understand this. We have the sword going through the circle, the sign of the initiate, the sign of creation, right? Beautiful energy. new thought, new understanding, finding that middle path, the passing through the eye of the needle, right? Beautiful. Let's see where we're going. I love it. That devil energy, that devil. And look how beautiful the devil is in this deck. And we see him there as time, as the DNA, right? Beautiful. As that green man. Wow. In the awakening of the eye, right? The devil is the one that shines a light, that teaches us, that provides us with that knowledge, that gives us what we want, that unfolds all creation before us. Beautiful, beautiful energy. And with that sword, it's about pursuing knowledge, right? Pursuing wisdom, asking for it, going to the seat of that light bringer and being shown. And that means gazing into the abyss and allowing yourself to be transformed by it. Where's this going? Interesting. Interesting. We had this 7 of Swords the other day as the center of our reading. Futility. Futility. Overthinking. Moving beyond that balance of reason into the realm of imbalance. Over application. So what we're seeing is to overcome that futility, that energy that has been bombarding us in this intensity, holding us back. We are going to invoke that spirit of Lucifer to show us another way, to bring us through that middle path of reason. But to get there, we have to jump down. We have to start anew. Interesting. Where's this going? Beautiful. We are being given a guide, I believe, here, the Queen of Swords, and something to pursue, right? The Queen of Swords is that ultimate teacher, the ultimate bringer of justice and reason, the one who works in the world through that power of kinship building, right? Through that energy of passing on the knowledge and sharing, right? Through that savior energy, connected to this new pursuit of intellect, new thinking. We are meant to approach this in that way of the teacher, in that feminine form, in that kin and community building form, the one who raises the children and shows them the truth, gives them the ability to handle and understand it, because so much of understanding wisdom, of knowing what the world is to be strong. So you must wield that sword and become that knight, that defender, right? Interesting, interesting. So let's continue. Where are we going? And we have that Queen of Cups energy. Beautiful. The Queen of Cups, remember, is that mother energy, is that lover energy, is that one who always is in that flow, the perpetual font of emotion and of giving, right? The ultimate mothering energy, the one who can give when is needed, who can be that shoulder. Deep, powerful, flowing, creative energy, right? The most feminine of those energies. Wow. I love it. So let's see where this is going. All right. 6 of Wands, victory. Now, this is interesting. Okay, what we're seeing here is out of this connection with the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups, when we can balance these pursuit of the emotional connection in that loving, communal, motherly role, and when we can pursue that wisdom in that logical way, in that loving, motherly role, that's when we can really, really transform. And that's when we bring down this victory, this incredible power, that victory is the drawing down of the star, right? It is that sigil of Lucifer. It is that diamond. Look, you see it in two different forms, up and down, right? Up and down. We see here too the lion and the owl, Cybele and Minerva. Really beautiful energy. Justice, law providing, protection, building, right? That passionate victory that can provide us with the power. And it comes from connecting to these two energies. Let's see where this is going. Oh, wow. And then the Nine of Wands at the top, connected to our Ace of Swords. That strength card. The profound energy, where we had the Six of Wands is that victory, that middle path. The Nine of Wands is that strength, that power to flip the poles, the power and energy at its maximum, at its most intense, right? That strength to go, to overcome. And look who we see. We see the Hermit, that energy of the Virgo, right? The one who has the power of the moon, who can shine a light, go into the cave and transform the self. Beautiful energy. What we're seeing here is with that 9, we need to be able to truly accomplish this sword energy of seeing this new perspective, of transforming ourselves, of becoming that Queen of Swords. Part of it is also going through that hermitage, going to the depths of ourself with that strength, with that power of the Nines of Wands, to really take that fiery energy and to just use it to truly transform, to bring us that fire that will bring down also that connection of this feminine as well. So the key to realizing these transformations of going through that devil energy, of connecting to that sword energy in this new way, we have to go through that hermitage. We have to shine that light. We have to take that light of the moon and we have to shine it into the depths of our souls, right? And we have to use that strength to continue to push and to adapt and to do what's necessary to transform. And we have to connect to her, right? That Venus energy, that Aphrodite Kometho. We have to draw her down by that strength, by that fiery passion, right? Draw her into ourself, into the depth of the soul. Wow. Incredible. Incredible energy. All right. Let me flip my camera here so you guys can see the full spread. And please give me a like and a subscribe. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, please reach out, snappydts@gmail.com. All right, let's take a look. We'll start here with the devil, right? That devil energy is going to force this transformation and this growth. It's going to force us into this energy of the Queen of Cups, right? This is what we're doing when we're invoking that devil. We're going through that process of rising the mountain, of transforming, of becoming that being that has the power to ascend to the stars. But to do so, we have to go through this process of refinement. We have to go through that hermitage. We have to embody that energy of the waters, and we have to embrace that loving connection, embody that loving energy, connect with it, right? In some ways, this is about exiting the hermitage, and connecting to that loving mother energy. It's about moving from the Virgo, the solitary, to the one that is in companionship, right? So now you can be that Queen of Swords in partnership with that Queen of Cups. And that brings that Six of Victory to draw down that star. When you can connect that loving mother energy to that loving teacher energy, and they can work in unison, it brings that victory. And it comes from that transforming energy of the devil that transforms that hermit of the Virgo, that allows them to connect to that queen. If we look here at our Ace of Swords, right? This is that new perspective, that new creative way of thinking, that new approach to building the tower. And we're doing it in the suit of air. We are going through the center of the eye, through the eye of the needle, engaging in that snake magic, that Ouroboros, right? And what this is doing, we need to become that educator, that kinship builder, that one that works for justice and harmony and balance, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys, about these rude people. Awful. All right. How do I get rid of this shit? Okay, there we go. Let's continue. So, we now look here. And we need to have that 9 of strength, that fiery 9, that passionate 9 energy. How come this person keeps coming back? How are they able to? Maybe got to put them in timeout. Huh. Oh, well. All right. So we look at that strength energy, that beautiful energy of the 9 of Wands. And that is what's going to give us the power to become that teacher, to affect this new change, this new perspective, to be able to grow and transform, beautiful energy. And right, it's all about being able to overcome this futility, right? All about being able to embrace that middle way, to get out of our own way and to be our best actor, to be our strongest self. And we do that through connecting to that Aphrodite, that Venus energy, by wishing for it, by doing what is necessary. And that's where that victory, that fiery passion will come in. Like, this is getting silly now. All right. Wow. It's like Tarot Destroyer. You're not destroying anything. It's not destroying anything. It's just so funny. So funny. But right, that's our reading, everyone. That's our reading. Sorry about that. But we had such a beautiful reading. We need to embrace that energy of that devil, and we use it to transform ourselves. We embrace that energy of the star, that Venus, and we use it to transform. And what do we transform into? Into that queen of swords that can truly grow, that can truly produce some magical, that can truly draw down the stars and can affect change in the universe around us, that can connect to that Queen of Cups, right? This is about going into the hermitage, knowing what we need to do, and then coming out and being in community, right? About affecting change, about new approaches, new thoughts, new creative experiences. All right, beautiful. We are now going to end the stream, and we're going to do one final sortes. And we're going to go today to 10 Plays by Euripides. And Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Euripides? Here we go. Why is it, poor girl, that you labor and toil for my sake when you have been brought up delicately? Why don't you give it up when I tell you to? And therein lies that power of the donkey, right? Why is it, poor girl, that you labor and toil for my sake when you have been brought up delicately? Why don't you give it up when I tell you? Because they understand the meaning of work and the power of going through it, of doing what is necessary, right? They can understand what is bigger. They can understand what it means to be a friend, what it means to be a God, right? Beautiful. All right, everyone. Peace and love. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope I see you again tomorrow for more live tarot and sortes. And remember, be the donkey, be that fool, take the leap and laugh. Life is beautiful. Take care.